that you're going to get to see today. Besides the tour on site that we do here, which you guys are going to get, we also tour across the country. We take 5 or 6 of our cats, go to businesses, schools, fairs, festivals, things like that, to raise awareness about conservation. Basically, those tours are what you're going to get here, but on a stage instead. Hi, Zoe, I know.
That's so cute.
We're going to get treats.
So also, besides the tours we do, we also are involved in photography. So for those of you here for the first time today, chances are you've seen our cats before. We supply about 60 to 70% of the world's photography of big cats. That's print ads, books, movies, television, magazines, things like that. Don't go anywhere, Chloe. I'm not done with you. We also are involved in the SSP, Species Survival Plan. That's a breeding program. Every major AZA zoo is going to be involved in it. Allows us to communicate with all those zoos so that there's cooperation among facilities like us rather than all being independent. We'll start here with Chloe. Chloe is a white Bengal tiger. She's not albino. She's got a white recessive gene called the heterozygous gene. That's what gives her that white coat, blue eyes, and pink nose. She's about 9 years old. Whose fly's bothering you? I'm sorry, baby. Whose fly's bothering you? Hi. She's a Bengal tiger, so her kind are going to be found in India. However, white tigers are extinct in the wild. The last one was seen in 1951. Since then, no white tigers have been reported being born in the wild. Hey, baby. What are you doing? Any questions about little Chloe here?
Yeah. She paces back and forth all the time. What's that about? Is that like a nervous
There's
tick?
any number of reasons they could be pacing. She was pacing earlier?
She's waiting for one to go from kind of fast. She perked up when she saw when you drove in the black.
Okay.
She knows you have meat, I think.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. So pacing is always, basically, there's a ton of research on it. But anyways, pacing basically just means she is trying to get something that's not inside the enclosure. So if she was looking for food, let's say she wants a snack, she would normally go out and forage for it. So she's getting that excess energy out by pacing, as in she would go look for food, but she can't, so she paces. Generally the cats here, mostly they're going to be like this. I haven't seen Chloe pace that much, so that's interesting. But yeah, she's probably just seeing another person. They pace when they're excited. They know when their tour's about to start. Brutus will start pacing as we head over there. Is another one of our white tigers. Generally, though, we like them to be like this, obviously. We want them to be relaxed.
How heavy are they and how long do they live?
Chloe here is probably about 375 pounds, maybe 350. She's going to probably get to about 20 years old. They live to their early 20s. In the wild, 8 to 10 years is more likely. Oh, hey, those flies are bothering you, huh?
How old is she right now?
She's 9.
Same age as you.
Any other questions?
So do they have babies here?
We don't have any right now, but we do breed. We're a licensed breeding facility.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Well,
So we had her breed a couple of weeks ago, but the male we paired her with is pretty young, so he's still learning everything. So it didn't quite work, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
He's learning.
Yeah.
Zoe, you're silly. What? What is that? Hi guys, go ahead right there tonight for the next cat.
Tried to get out before it Oh dear. Oh my goodness, how cute is that?
That's a good boy, Daddy. You make good pictures coming up. Good boy. So this is the cat with the most names. Cougar, Puma, Panther, Mountain Lion, Nittany Lion, Painter, Screamer, Catamount. They got about 40 different names. It is all the same cat. The reason they have so many names is probably because their territory is so large. They're found up in Alaska all the way down to the southern tip of South America. So a bunch of people came across them and all called them something different. Now these guys are very powerful. They can jump about 18 feet straight up in the air. They can go 30 feet down without a problem because of those large paws and strong legs. They decided he needed to move out and get his own place. So he did, and it worked out better for everybody. They did have 2 young children. Now, everyone who has a house cat knows that your cat retains its instincts. It will stalk, flies or mice, things like that. Well, if you have a cat like this in your house, they're not stalking flies and mice, they're stalking your dog or they're stalking your kid. And at some point, they will attack. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when if you keep them in your house. Even if you bottle fed them from cubs and raise them and there's some sort of special bond, it does not erase their instinct. At any point, they could attack you. Yes! So they're dangerous, but they're also very expensive. We go through about 8,000 to 10,000 pounds of meat per month here, feeding our cats. Also, they're very dirty. I clean their den areas, I clean their enclosures. You do not want that living in your house. Hey, bud. You want another treat? All right. You gotta do a stand, isn't that crazy? Good boy.
Do they try to bury their waste like house cats?
Not really, not the bigger guys. Our small cats will, because they wanna hide. These guys, they're the top predators in their areas. They don't care. They want everyone to know that they're there. Any other questions about Taz, our mountain lion / cougar / puma? All right, we'll head to our next cat. Thank you, Taz. So this is Brutus. Brutus is a white Bengal tiger just like Chloe. Again, he's not albino. And he's got those lighter stripes. That's common for white tigers. White tigers are not generally going to have black stripes. They're going to have lighter stripes like this or chocolatey brown stripes like Chloe. She didn't actually have black stripes. If you go back and look, they're actually just dark brown. Now, Brutus here, he weighs almost 400 pounds. And he was brought to us from another facility. We got him when he was about 3 months old. Hi, bud. Anyone want to take a guess at how old Brutus is?
10?
10 years old? Yeah.
15. 18 now.
11 years old? 15?
Did you say he was a younger one?
What?
Wasn't he younger?
Yeah, he's about 18 months old.
Baby.
He's a baby. Brutus could technically still be considered a cub, because at this point he would still be with mom in the wild. He'd still be learning how to hunt, not forming his own territory quite yet. Oh, look at you, so big. You chase that tree. Don't let it get away, Brutus. Good boy.
Look, this is my
Yep.
How much bigger will he get?
Probably about 100 pounds more.
Oh.
Is that all? Yeah, just 100 pounds, that's it. His brother Scooby is almost 500 pounds, and we think he might get bigger than Scooby, so. Not sure yet, we'll have to wait. But he's got really big paws and really big teeth for his age, so we think he's going to get pretty big. Hi! Buddy, sorry? No, actually, there are roaring cats and there's purring cats. 4 roaring cats, lion, tiger, leopard, and jaguar. So if they're a roaring cat, they actually don't purr. But all your other small cats are going to purr. So that noise he keeps making, that exhalation of air, is called a chuff. It's a friendly greeting between tigers. So we'll chuff at our tigers, they chuff back. Lets them know we're on the same page. We don't want to hurt each other.
Beautiful.
Chuff. That's a good boy. The technical term for that noise is called Prusten. That's a German word that means to snort. So if you ever hear them making that noise at you, that's a good sign. They want to be friends. Yeah. So any questions about big Brutus here? Or baby Brutus?
Does it help that he's white, not black? From the sun?
He can get sunburned because of that white fur. So white tigers actually are susceptible to sunburn. Yeah. Is he? Yeah, I think he's cute too.
I mean, I want to be.
He's also very dangerous though. Saw those big claws, big teeth? He's still a predator.
Is there any difference on the, as far as with the genetic difference of the Bengal tigers making them white like that? Is there any other traits that they're known for that are different,
Yeah, like the different subspecies, the differences. Bengals are going to be a lot sleeker, generally not have a fluffy coat. They're usually darker in their orange counterparts. But Bengals are the only ones that carry that white gene. You're not going to see any other subspecies with the white coat. Bengals are typically smaller, 500 to 600 pounds. Though white tigers, for some reason, tend to be bigger. They don't really know why. And then, like, Siberians have really fluffy, light coats compared to the Bengals. So there's slight morphological or outside differences between them. That's pretty much it. And then geography is another way they tell subspecies. Any other questions about baby Brutus? All right, we will head to our next cat. Bye, Brutus! Dolly! Brutus. You're staying up front and center. That is just wonderful.
Oh, she is pretty.
Alright, so this little guy here is Stoli. Stoli is a Eurasian lynx, also known as the Siberian lynx. And these guys are found in Western Europe, throughout Germany, into Russia, and all the way to Southeast Asia. So we have a pretty large range as well. They're the biggest of the lynx species. They can get up to 80 to 90 pounds usually. Stoli here is not quite that big. He's probably 50 or so pounds. Not much bigger than that. Stoli! You do a jump for us today. Are you gonna do a jump? Look. Stoli. Come on. Oh yeah, he wants the little one.
Yeah, he does.
That's the easy prey.
Yeah.
Stoli loves kids.
I see that.
That's what we love to say. Alright, Stoli, look how many I'm putting on here. It's a whole meat kebab for you. You ready? Look at this. Whoa. Oh. Still not interested. She's like, that doesn't look like a baby to me. Come on, Stoli. Come on, bud.
Don't hurt because it's
You may
getting
put
close.
more on there?
He's like, I'm not quite there.
Alright. Another one on there. This is the last one, Stoli. This is it. You're not jumping for this. You're not jumping. Oh, okay. Come on, Stoli.
You're growing.
It's a good boy. All the way up. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on. Let me get you at least your feet off the ground, bud. Come on. There you go.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
That's cute.
Little stinker. Alright, we'll try one more time to get him to jump. Come here, Stoli. I see you do not need to eat a lot tonight, Stoli. Be lazy. Come on, bud. Jump up. Let's go. Come on. Stoli, you're being so lazy. What's wrong with you? Jump. Hey,
Does he usually
what's your
jump?
deal? Yeah, he usually does. Why aren't you jumping?
He's like, I'm too full.
Tell me. In English, please. Not in Licks.
15 minutes.
That's a good boy. Yeah, there you go. Good boy. Nope, you can't take all of it. No. He's not gonna have all those treats just for jumping. Sorry. It is, yeah. Actually, some of this might be beef. But we'll feed beef and equine both. Yeah. Alright, so back to the tour. These guys, those tufts on the end of his ears give him very acute hearing. He can hear a mouse eating seeds 7 feet below the snow while being 60 yards away. So that's one of the main things they hunt are the little rodents, snowshoe hare, things like that. But just because he's smaller doesn't mean he can't take down big prey too. He takes down 100 to 200 pound deer. they jump on the back of them and ride them to exhaustion.
Wow.
Any questions about little Stoli here?
Can
What's
he be
that,
kept
Stoli?
as a house pet?
What?
Can he be kept as a house pet?
Like it's possible. It's not a good idea, but yeah, they're still very aggressive. They're still wild animals. They'll be possessive over food. You can see them stalking the kids. So that's not a good idea. Have one in your house.
Good dog, Matt. It's good dog.
Like little girls up in the front row there.
Yep. Any other questions?
Buddy.
About 15 minutes. Slightly shorter, but. Alright guys, we'll get next Sorry, Reno, bad throw. Good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. Alright, so this is the rarest cat in the world. There are maybe 25 of her kind left in the wild. Good girl, Reina. Now, the reason they're so low is a number of factors. One, these guys are found in the Amur River Valley in Siberia, Russia. Which means they share prey base with the Siberian tiger. So prey scarcity is a factor for sure with these guys. They are called Amur leopards because they're limited to one little river valley called the Amur River Valley. And so habitat loss is the other factor. And the last one, you probably guessed it, poaching. These guys are hunted for their coats, and it takes about 6 to 7 full-grown leopards to make a single fur coat. Here, Reina, Julia. Good girl. Oh yeah, they run about 35 miles per hour. You see those teeth? That's a big
Oh.
What? I will. Not right now. Gotta give her time. She does it on her own schedule. So these guys were hunted. That's what really drove down their numbers. And being that there's only 25 left in the wild, they will be extinct in the next couple of years. It's really just a matter of time at this point. 25 is way too low to sustain a population further into the future, especially in the wild where breeding is not managed. They're starting to interbreed. Being that low, all the cats are going to start being related to each other, genetic defects will result, and one disease can wipe them all out. Now, scientists aren't even sure if these guys will survive in the wild. I mean, in captivity. There's only 210 registered Amur leopards in captivity. And you need at least 3,000 members of your population to have a working gene pool. So we may be losing this cat in the next couple of years. Come here, Reina. We have her parents here. So she was born here. What are you doing? I wasn't done with you. You can do teeth from there? You see your teeth? No, you don't do teeth from there. You see teeth. Let me see your teeth. You're starting. Let me see your teeth. That's a little bit. Not quite.
Look my bulldog.
Let me see those teeth. Teeth, Reina, teeth. That's not really it. Come here. Oh. Come here. Let me see those teeth. Come on. Just a little bit more. Let me see those teeth. There you go. Good girl. That's a good girl.
She's like, I want some more. Come here.
See those teeth. Really neat. our cats so that when we want to breed them, we don't interbreed them with the cat that's related to them. So we want to do our best to up genetic diversity, not lower it by interbreeding. And just to give you an idea of how difficult it can be to breed cats in captivity sometimes, Raina's parents, Nikki and Katya, they have produced 1 cub in 7 years of breeding. And that's Raina. That's a girl. She's 2, she'll be 3 in a couple months. So any other questions about Raina here? Alright, it's this way.
Black leopard.
So Taboo over there is a black leopard. However, as he or if he comes up, you're gonna see that he's not black at all. He's got shades of red and brown in that coat, and that's the true color of it. In fact, there's no such thing as a black cat. Come on, Taboo. Come show us your pretty coat. Now, black leopards do have spots or rosettes like any other cat, any other leopard. You just got to see them kind of in the right lighting, but it's not a solid black coat. And what that's called is a melanistic coat. We all have melanin. It's what gives us our skin tone, our hair colors. And cats, when they have an overproduction of melanin, they get that dark coat. Melanistic coats are common to other cats like ocelots, jaguars, marsillas, all kinds of jungle cats. Will have that black coat, but it's definitely more suited to your jungle cats because African leopards are born with black coats, but they still got like a sore thumb on the plains of Africa, so they're usually killed as cubs, unfortunately. But like Taboo laying in the shadows over there, those dark coats are definitely helpful in jungle environments. All right, Taboo, you found the treat. You want to come up now? Big boy, don't be lazy. Come on, Taboo. Oh, thank you. Let's ask you to come up here. Come on, ask. So, leopards are very powerful. They can deadlift 300 to 400 pounds of prey up into a tree just using their jaw. And the reason they do that is to keep prey away from other predators like lions, hyenas, African wild dogs that would love to steal prey from a leopard. But those animals can't get up into a tree like the leopard can, so his prey is safe. Oh, big stretch. Such a hard day. Can you imagine just having to sleep all day? What a tough life for leopards.
So when he beats in the saddle, he's all black?
What?
When he's in the floor, he's all black.
He's black, yeah. I mean, it's not actually black. It just looks black to us, but it's really dark brown. It's this.
I thought it was purple.
Good boy, Taboo. Look at you not being lazy. I didn't know it was possible. Good boy, Taboo. Thank you. Now, these guys, along with that power, are very intelligent. They memorize the ins and outs of villages, the most efficient way in and out without being seen. And villagers tell stories of leopards walking into villages, pulling people out of their beds at night, and no one knows till the next morning when they're gone. What? It's just a stand.
Oh, I keep missing him.
I can't make a cat do anything. But I can ask him, but he doesn't really jump. He just does stands. He's 15 years old. So he's kind of old. You want to do a stand or do you want to say something? What's that? They can barely hear each other. Just a little louder.
Oh, right here is motor.
All right. Really quiet. Nice, a good boy. No, he doesn't really do teeth either. He kind of just sits there and bats his eyes. Now, being that they're so powerful and so intelligent, leopards are the most dangerous big cat to humans. They kill the most people per year. There was a leopard in the 1900s that killed 430 people in India before being caught. That's the record. Tigers come in second, but leopards, they take that first place. Yeah, it's not a good first place to be in.
What about lions?
I don't know where they come in. I know they don't really, mostly what the problem with lions is they take people's cows and sheep and things like that. They'll take livestock.
Can he run pretty fast?
Yep, about 35 to 40 miles per hour.
That's what I
They
thought.
can jump 20 feet up and 40 feet out.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions about Taboo, our not so black leopard?
Oh.
Well, I didn't know how high. They're pretty high.
That's a boy.
So when they go to the bathroom, they lift up their legs like that. So.
Dawn.
No, not usually. They'll just kind of like squat or something.
Yeah. Dawn.
Or they'll spray out into the crowd.
Yeah.
We never appreciate, but they do. All right, guys, we'll head to our next cat right this way. This is another small to medium-sized cat. So this is Malenka. She's our female. Back there is Ciro. They do kind of. So the Savannah cat, if any of you are familiar with like kind of designer crossbreeds, is the domestic version of these guys. They've not been domesticated, but you can breed down kind of the wild instincts a little bit. So about 5 or 6 generations removed from the wild is handleable by people. Yeah, that's what Bengals are. So Asian leopard cats mixed with Siamese is how you get those. Safari cats, when we meet the Joffrey's cats, that's the designer breed with those guys. Ciro down here is somebody I can work with. Malenka over there uses her paws for evil, which means that she will try to tag me. Ciro prefers to have the treat placed in his mouth for him. Come on. He's like, no, I'm okay. Kinda, yeah. So much attitude. Why are you such a brat right now? Thank you.
What are these called? Circles?
African servals, yep. So these guys are found on the African plains, the grasslands. They are also called a spare parts cat. Spare parts cat? Mm-hmm. So they have funny looking little bodies. They've got tall legs, spots like a cheetah, a tail like a raccoon, ears like a fox. Everything is for a very exact reason. With cats, nothing is for show. So these guys can go about 40 to 45 miles an hour at a dead sprint, but only for 20 to 30 seconds. It's because cats have small hearts and lungs, so if they're gonna do a burst of speed, it sends them into pure exhaustion. Anybody have house cats that do those crazy nut runs? Have you ever noticed that your cat goes to sleep for 4 hours after that? So they just wasted all their energy doing nothing. Yeah, cats are awesome. So these guys are the same way. After they exert energy for too long, they gotta go recoup it by sleeping. Also, they are very fast runners. You can tell because they have a middle-length tail. They need a little bit of help steering at those top speeds, but these cats are not climbing cats. They have a pretty tall center of gravity, so that means any longer tail would not be necessary because they don't climb. Anytime you see this cat up a tree, it's because there was another predator in the area and they just ran themselves straight up it. Those big ears can hear the wings of a bat flap, which is something we physically can't even do as humans. They have 32 muscles in each one and can control them independently and listen to 2 different sides of the plane at once. I cannot throw anything in here with these guys. That's because they could fight over things. Now, even though the female Malenka is in heat, they can still become territorial or fight over food. The way that cats work is they are all solitary, with the exception of lions who do live in social prides, only coming together for breeding purposes. Means when the female's in heat, they can be together, but even then, there can be fights over food, territory, things like that. Now these two have had 5 successful litters together. They've been mates for a very long time. So as long as they don't fight, we'll let them live together, not a problem. But as Malenka comes closer to her due date, we will split them up. So that means that she'll go back into her den to nest, prepare for the babies, and Ciro will come out and do all the heavy lifting for her for about a month. Malenka is very specific when she has her kittens. Always 3 in a litter, typically on a Saturday between 10 a.m. and noon, and always on the 93rd day. She knows exactly what she likes. That's not common with most cats. Typically it's between 2 to 3 in a litter, 1 to 6 being outside the norm but still possible. And the gestation is anywhere between 72 and 103 days. depending on small, medium, or large cats.
Cats ever eat each other, like a bigger cat eat a smaller cat?
In the wild, absolutely. Yeah, if we put any of our cats together, they would absolutely fight to the death. They can consume each other. There's no familiar recognition. They will eat their own species. Yeah.
Did you ever tell us what these ones eat?
So these guys can hunt birds. Malenka is famous for taking down a blackbird. Part of the reason why we don't feed live is because she took it down, broke its wing, and left it to die for 3 hours. She played with it, just like your house cat does. These cats are hand raised. They cannot fight. They can't provide for themselves like this. So these guys eat birds, snakes. These guys do actually fish, which is interesting. Typically I'd try to get something in the pool, but since they're both in here, not quite going to happen. But they can use those long paws to go by rivers, lakes, and streams. They enjoy water for fishing purposes only, not for recreation. A cat this size can take down a 90-pound prey item as well.
Damn. Wow.
Yes. Yep.
How much do they weigh?
Malenka is 33 and Hero is 37. So they can take down prey 2 to 3 times their own size. Typically they'll go after smaller, more abundant prey items, not usually after livestock. They do like rodents quite a bit, snakes, things like that.
So, you know, if you have a male house cat that's not fixed, you know, you're going to get a really bad smell with the spray.
Yep.
You're noticing you don't smell anything.
That's because we do a lot of cleaning here.
Oh, do you?
Yes, you will keep that in mind. When we go by Shaka, you will smell something a lot worse.
Yeah, where do you see the line?
Yeah, the line is gross.
But how would you clean that?
So we do have disinfectants that takes the smell out, as well as these guys don't always mark territory. Some of our cats do more than others, but we disinfect the areas that we know they spray. So they mark their territory along the outskirts of their territory, on doors, things like that. So we can disinfect it for the most part.
Whatever you guys are using, I must
We also use something called anti-icky poo, which you might want to look up, because that's something that if you get sprayed by a tiger while you're here, that's what we take to you, so that you don't go home smelling like tiger pee. It works very well. It gets rid of the ammonia smell. It's an enzyme thing.
I actually had a cat like outside my apartment run in while I was spray and then run out. I'm like, really?
Yeah, that happens. They just want to mark all the territory they can. Cats are so fun. Sometimes I question my life choices. I work with cats.
Oh, I love cats.
It's a bittersweet thing sometimes. Well, any questions for our happy couple? Yeah. Fingers crossed for some babies. We literally won't know if they're here until they pop up in the den box. As for all of our cats, we can't guarantee anything until they're here.
So how long does she raise them for you? Because you have to handle them a lot, right? So how do you handle that with her raising them and you raising them?
So she raises them for the first week to 2 weeks, and then we handle them afterwards. Do all the hand rearing, things like that, midnight feedings, all that stuff we do for her for that. We just wait for them to get their bonding things and any nutrients that they need through their mother's milk, and then we hand raise. Creates stress-free cats, things like that. You'll notice a marked difference between all of these guys and then our 2 jaguars. There is a big difference.
So that they weren't.
They were mother raised, yeah, and it makes a big difference, especially in captivity. Well, if there are no other questions, we will be heading into the back half of our facility, which means there are some important rules for back there. Back there is no secondary safety railings. It's all just enclosures like this. I do ask that you keep everything aware of where you are. There will be sometimes enclosures on both sides of you. If you can touch an enclosure like this, you are so way too close. You want to be at least 4 to 5 feet away at any given time. I know I make it look easy walking here. The cats accept me in their space. They don't really mind me too much, but you guys will be intruders if you enter that, because this is included in their space. You saw his pretty little paws. They can stick out. We've never played tag before. Let's keep it that way today. If you need a break though, go back up to the restroom or anything, just let me know and I'll get you an escort. We're gonna head through this way. There will be some cats that we don't stop at. They could be retired, having the day off, things like that. So you're welcome to wave hello, but just try to stay together as a group.
There you are.
We're gonna hover here for a second. This is a good example of den areas. This is Malenka and Ciro's den area. This is where they come at night. This is their safe place. It also protects them from the elements. So
tomorrow night when we get thunderstorms, this is where they'll come. Hopefully Malenka will decide to cooperate and come in this time. She can be a little free-willed. And this is our cloud leopard exhibit. Cloud leopards are mostly nocturnal. It is the middle of the day. Sorry guys, no leopards. They're really cool, but they are pretty neurotic animals. Yes, these guys are cute. They're not house cats, so please keep your distance with them. They do. You want to utilize the benches? They're there for a reason. These are Joffrey's cats. This is Toby. Tag's the girlfriend is apparently taking a nap. She might show up. So Toby is a whopping 5 pounds, whereas Tag tips the scales at 3.5. So they are quite small, and yes, they are full grown at this size. What most people don't realize is that of the 37 species of cats with numerous subspecies, only 7 are considered large. The rest are all small to medium. So this isn't even the smallest kind of cat. There is a 2-pound rusty spotted cat that lives in the jungles of Asia. It is said to be the most ferocious cat on the planet. Yes. We do not have one. I know. Toby is over here.
He's like, I'm gonna climb this tree. Oh, here's some young.
She's really cute, isn't she? Okay, fine. Hi, Taggy.
Look at her.
Right by your face, sweetie.
Oh. Right there.
They're just like cats. They attack everything.
Yep, they do attack everything. So these guys are very ferocious. Let me put that to you in human terms. So thank you. Imagine that you live in a place where there are giants 100 times our size that think that we make for super tasty potato chips. How tough do you have to be to survive? That's what these guys are facing. Yeah, exactly. Well, these guys live in South and Central America. Rusty spotted cats live in Asia, which means they share territory with some big cats. Jaguars live in South and Central America, and tigers live in Asia. So that means that they have to be really tough to survive. And these cats can take down 20, 30-pound prey items.
He's like, give me that. That's super cute. They have that bent up back, kind of like a mongoose or something.
Yep, a lot of climbing cats have that. Scientists aren't really sure what that feature is for, but you'll notice our jaguars have that too. And there's just, some cats have common features and we're not really sure what they're for. Those eye spots on the back, those white spots, scientists think that they're for hunters, while other predators will think that the cat's watching them when their back is turned, as well as giving the young something to identify their parents from when they walk away, but it's really hard to tell. So you can't ask a cat, hey, why do you got those spots on the back of your ear? So that, your guess is as good as the scientist's. Hi, Tag. She's just the sweetest little thing. So these cats are arboreal, which means they spend most of their lives up in trees, sometimes up to 90%. He thinks he's really tough. He's protecting his lady. Yep. He thinks he's pretty gangster, I'm not gonna lie.
He's like sexy.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna protect his lady. Yep. So they have been breeding for the past month or so hopefully we'll have some babies. When Joffrey's cats have young, typically they're up in hollowed out trees, so Tag will make a nice little nest in her den, and her young will be about 65 grams when they're born, so about the size of a quarter. They're very small.
How many do they usually have?
2 to 3 in a litter, but 1 to 6 is possible.
Oh wow.
Yep, really that small. Yep. See how small the cat is?
Yeah.
Yep, they gotta be. They're blind for the first 10 days of their lives. Yeah, they are, but they are fully independent by 8 months. So they can climb trees pretty well by about 4 months or so. What was your question?
Do you have to separate them?
Yes, we will separate them. And even when they're eating, so we'll feed them separately and they have to eat separately because they will fight over food. Any other questions? Yeah, I know, right? His daughter was, yeah, he's like, yeah, I gotta protect my lady. When the females aren't around, the males are totally different. He is the most mellow cat when his female isn't around. He does not act like this. Oh, he's stressed out because his woman is around. Otherwise, he's just gonna land there like, hey, what's up? I'm good. All of our cats are that way. They act way different when the females are around. Even if they're in the same area but not sharing the same area, It's weird. If we were to take her into another exhibit farther away, you'd be fine.
Pretty cool.
She's gotta be tough.
He's like a cat. When he like stops, he like curls up like this.
Mm-hmm.
Are these related to the cats you showed us over there?
They are not closely related to them that I know of. It's possible. I mean, they all have common ancestors, but not closely
The same
related.
spot and stripe setup as this answer.
The weird thing is that all those animals that we met over there, he has all these spots.
Yep. So spotted cats have that markings to help them blend in typically forested areas so that they can blend in with the shadows. Because he lives in jungles. Any other questions for Mr. Toby? Head around this way. I know there's a black leopard up, but that is the retired one.
That whole
So we are going to meet Kabir, Magic, Nyla, and Ollie. We will say hello to all four of them. They all do the same cool thing. Now this is Kabir. Now Kabir is an African wildcat. All four of these guys are. They are not where your house cats. They are not your house cats, but they are where your house cats came from. I know, man.
Pretty fast hands.
They do have fast hands. These guys have reaction speeds of about 1/20th of a second, which is pretty darn fast.
Come on.
Yes, they are very tough. So, domestication process started about 4,000 years ago with the ancient Egyptians. They noticed how good that is so creepy.
I know what's in that.
The domestication process started about 4,000 years ago. The reason for that is because they noticed how good of a mouser this cat was. Got rid of their rodent problems. So they let them coexist in the granaries, and thus the cooperation between mankind and cats began. But it wasn't until the 1600s that true domestication started to occur. It's a very long process. That's so creepy. It's a very long process. Now these cats are facing a threat. We've talked about how cats are facing threats because of either their body parts, their furs, things like that. But these guys have a different threat, and that's people that don't spay and neuter their cats. Feral cats and wild cats. Wilds. They're facing a threat because wildcats and feral cats can breed together. Now they're two totally separate species, but closely related enough that they can breed and have viable offspring, which means that they're watering down the wild's gene pool. So feral cats are always going to be found around people, whereas wildcats want nothing to do with us. Unfortunately, it causes an issue, and artificial insemination is not a viable option with cats. That's because cats have something called induced ovulation, which means that they can pick and choose when they get pregnant. If there's too much stress, if there's not enough food, anything like that, they can terminate pregnancies at will. Yeah, it is really cool, but unfortunately it means that artificial insemination is not happening. Oh my gosh, seriously? The scientists that tried artificial insemination, it took 10,982 tries for one successful birth with spotted leopards. That's a lot of effort for one try. And then they decided to try something else. So there's a scientist by the name of Betsy Drescher who works at the Audubon Society, and she decided she didn't want to see these cats go extinct. So she decided to clone them. Meet Magic. Magic is a clone.
Oh my
Yep,
God.
she has no natural parents. Yep, would you guess that before you saw her?
No.
Yeah, she's a perfectly normal cat. She's a little bit different than the other ones. Yep. I know, I didn't think they were clones here until I started working with one.
Like, give me that meat.
Yeah. So she thinks she's people, basically. She was hand-raised by scientists from birth, which means she's a lot more affectionate than some of our other cats. But she's still a wild cat through and through. So they take a fertilized egg from the sperm and the egg of two already existing cats and implant the already fertilized egg in the side of another wild cat, and she brings it to term. So that's how that works. That was rude. We're going to talk about that in a second, because that's interesting. So Magic and Ditto, the clone that was cloned first, he's a male. He was cloned in 2002, and Magic here was cloned in 2004. So those two bred together naturally. Two clones chose each other, which is the cool because they don't have to choose each other, but they did. They bred together all by themselves, and then we met Nyla. Nyla is the offspring of not one but 2 clones, and Magic just beat her up. So yes, Nyla is Magic's daughter. But with cats, there's no familiar recognition, which means that Nyla has no idea that she lives next to her mother.
That's like human beings.
Yep, just go right for it. So Magic here had Nyla, and Nyla is perfectly healthy as well. That tells us that clones are perfectly viable, totally healthy animals, and they can have offspring no problem.
Wait, this one had that one?
Yep.
Oh.
They're like the same size.
With the other clone.
Yep.
So that's a
Magic
clone baby.
Yep, that is a double clone baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. People sometimes have issues with cloning, especially when it comes to cloning other people. Let me just tell you this, there are 7 billion people on this planet. Do we need saving right now? Not really, that's not a necessary thing. But people do kind of turn a blind eye to it with cats. Cats need our help, they need saving. So that is something that they allow to happen, thankfully. Now we're gonna meet the fastest paws in the park. Are you ready? You don't look ready.
It's like, trust me, man.
Yeah, not easy to see from off the tongues. He is a fast little dude. See if you can do that one more time for us. Hi guys, welcome. You ready? You're so ready. There we go. He's showing off those weapons right there. Scientists have a hard time telling wild and feral cats apart. The easiest way to tell is claw density, but usually they have to do scientific testing on them. They are so genetically similar. Wow, are you okay? I've never heard that sound from her before.
Even more.
What's up? You're okay. She's just jealous. You got the 2
She's
pieces.
getting ready to
Are you
grab a
kidding
piece of
me?
meat. She's like, where's mine?
Yeah. So Ali and Kabir are actually brothers from the same litter. They look a lot different. A lot of people would never guess that they're brothers. Ali has that melanistic coat we saw with the black leopards. And he's spraying. Females and males will both spray. It's marking their territory. I was sprayed by a female tiger my first time. I was even cleaning her water dish out for her. She turned around and sprayed me. I was like, really? Thank you.
She's showing her love.
Yep, exactly.
You're her territory.
Awesome. She should tell that to her sister who hates my guts. I wore a headband one day and now she can't stand the sight of me. Yep, easy as that. Cats have quirks.
So I have this furry hat for Burning Man.
Yep.
It's got ears.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, my cat will freak out if I get down to the level with that thing on. Totally freaks out.
Cats are weird creatures. Love them, but they're kind of funny. This guy has the ability to destroy a pair of steel-toed boots. That's his reputation at the park. So,
Has he been turning that cage up too? Is that?
that's our bad driving with the tractor.
Okay.
Yeah. It gets really snowy and we have to lift the tractor up to be able to scrape everything off the top. And yeah, that's our director's terrible driving.
Are these feral cats or?
These are African wildcats, so they are not feral cats.
Okay, African wildcats.
Yep. And if you continue the rest of the tour, make sure you catch up with these guys because
Gotcha.
we've got a whole spiel. Yep. Thank you, Ollie. Any other questions about where your house cat came from? All right, we're gonna head back through this way.
She can turn her feet. You're looking right at Give me
So as we pass by this building over here, this is our prep room. It's what we call home base. It's where we prepare diets, do veterinary care, anything like that. We go through about 8,000 to 10,000 pounds of meat a month. That is our second biggest cost at the park. Can anyone guess what number 1 is? Big salary, I will start crying. It's not, it's actually insurance.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bet.
Yeah, it makes sense after I say
Yeah,
it.
if you think about it, yeah.
What?
Look at that tail.
So those are our clouded leopards.
They're sleeping.
Are those the ones you see over there? The brothers?
Yes, these are our brothers, Huey and Dewey. They do not like people, and they are nocturnal, so this is as good as it gets.
The one loves me actually.
Do you mean he wants to eat you?
No, he wants me to pat him. He's cool.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, so you see tails right back there.
Yeah.
These are what now?
Clouded leopards.
Okay.
I see them
These
about
are
10
okay.
minutes a week if I'm lucky.
And is this their full size?
That's Joffrey's cat. That's a different animal. That's But these guys in this den right here, these two little boxes with the tails, yes. And those guys typically max out about 50 pounds. They have short little legs. They are nocturnal. So this is nap time for them.
These guys are 50 pounds?
Yes, in that box.
These aren't the ones I'm
50
talking
pounds.
about then.
Probably not, no. You're going to want to step back from there. He can be tougher. They move really fast. I've got taken by surprise before. All right, we're going to keep moving
Maybe
here.
I'm thinking it's the Jaguars. Is it Jaguars?
Yeah, Jaguar brothers, yep.
Yeah, that's the only two that were captured.
Fences here in front of the lion. We will say hello to him. Don't get too close. Good morning, Shaka.
See, look at this huge.
He will let me know when he's ready to say hello. In the meantime, I will just talk about him. He has his way of letting me know when he's ready to work. We talked a little bit about how good the park smells. So he does not smell so good. It's a little grungy down here. There's lots of fur down here. We actually scrub this part of the park about once a week. Oh, this is pure Shaka. This is the only cat that is not groomed ever. Most cats spend about 2/3 of their waking life grooming. He does no such thing. Male lions do not ever groom. That's by design though, 'cause in the wild they rub up against things, spray on things, drop dreadlocks. Their oils are what helps to mark their territory. So if another male ever crosses into their territory, they know exactly who they're messing with. And how old is he? He's 16. The male lions typically max out around 5 to 6 years old in the wild. That's because they're coming under a lot of pressure. Male lions have to fight to the death in most cases. So even if they win a fight against another male lion, they could lose the fight to infection later on. Hey guys, welcome. You haven't missed anything with Shaka quite yet. He's pretty old, but record line I believe was 25 at least. So he's got some years left in him. You'll notice when he gets up, if at all, that he's still got some pep in his step. He just naps most of the time. Male lions, because they live in the harsh African plains, had to devise a way to control their body temperature. And the easiest way to do that is sleep, 20 to 22 hours a day, which is what this guy does here. It's a very tight schedule to keep, as I'm sure you can imagine. I am attempting to interrupt it. Stand where he can see me. Gotta be subtle about it with him. He likes to have everything just so. In the morning, he is out in his bigger enclosure. You will see that. He spends his morning hours 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's cooler at that point. But if it gets anywhere past 10:30, 11, he starts to bang on that metal door, which you can hear all across the park. Morning, Shaka. All right, he is going to make some loud noises for you. Thank you. Good teeth.
He is super cool. He's like purring with those.
All right, Shaka, give me a roar.
Give me a roar.
He just woke up.
Give me a roar.
Really? Oh, fuzzy buddy. Shaka. Are you tough?
It's like bells. It's kind of growled.
He's so temperamental. Shaka, give me a roar. Give me a roar. It's like pulling teeth, honestly. Shaka, give me a roar.
He's like, if you give me another piece of meat, I might.
Shaka, give me a roar. Give me a roar.
Poor thing.
Wow.
All right, Shaka, I'm gonna have really tough. A little tougher. Give me a roar. Give me a roar. Tougher. 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 Come on, Shaka. Be tougher. 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 You gotta earn it. Come on, baby. Tougher. 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 Tougher.
Oh my god.
Thank you, babies. There we go.
Whoa.
Thank you, Shaka. Go back to bed, baby.
She's like,
You
no,
got
you
me.
are shut.
He's like, come on. He woke up on his own. That's why we let him wake himself up. Yeah, that is on his own terms. And right back to bed. in the mood, but he will go right back to bed. Yeah, it's pretty ferocious, right? But you watched me beg for it pretty much. It was literally like pulling teeth. So that was on his own terms. Oh, that's something Shaka enjoys doing. It's called a controlled snarl. I said roar. It was not a roar. If you're lucky, you will hear him roaring at some point during your tour. It's an instinctual thing, though. It's a very loud noise that can be heard sometimes 10 miles in the wild. Around here, 4 or 6 miles is pretty good, though. But that was a snarl. That was a quick little hello. That's something he liked to do as a cub. So that's something all of our cats do. If they have a technique that they do while they're here, something they enjoy doing. Well, that was something that he used to show his teeth, snarl at people, bang at the fence at them. Well, now we turned into a positive behavior. He very rarely does it anymore, except for when we ask for it. So he knows if he's doing it and then we don't ask for it, he's not getting any treats, so why should he do it? But now we put it to a treat and a command, so that's all he does. Thank you, Shaka. I know. Don't complain. I'm done. No, I'm done. I'm ignoring you. I'll stand over here so I can ignore you some more. Yep. He will go back to bed. Did you notice how gross his mane was when he stood up? It's got like mats and stuff in it. It's because you can't really brush Shaka. He's not going to let you, and he doesn't groom himself, so that is ode to Shaka right there. You smell so good, bub. Back to prides in general, though. So the way prides work is there are going to be 2 to 3 males, one being dominant, and then 3, 10, sometimes more females, and they'll all be related as mothers, daughters, sisters, aunts, nieces, things like that. And in prides, males are the ones that do the protecting, and only the dominant male really protects, and he's the only one that breeds with the females. And all of the females have a similar schedule that they're on with the induced ovulation. So half stay at home taking care of the young, while the other half go out and fight for food. Females do all of the hunting. They bring home the kills, but even though they do all the hunting, anytime they bring home something, big boy gets his first shot. And then if there's anything left over, females get it. And the young are lucky if they get any food at all. It is a 90% mortality rate on the lion plain.
So Lion King is pretty accurate.
Yeah, he worked. What was that?
The Lion King is pretty accurate then.
Yes. Yes, it is not an easy life on the African plains. Yes, brothers will still kill each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do these cats play with toys and stuff like house cats?
Yeah.
Do you have toys like tires and stuff for them to play with and stuff?
We don't do tires here, but we do boxes. We have big balls. Shaka doesn't like balls, but he does love boxes. We do enrichment with big boxes, and we'll put them out here in his enclosure, and we'll sometimes put like urine of different cats on there. It's like intruders kind of a thing, and then he just goes crazy and destroys them. So it's enrichment is something that we do here to keep that wild going in them, to get wild behaviors. So we'll do scent marking, we'll change their enclosures, things like that, so that it's kind of like seeing new area or new animals in their area, so that they do some wild behaviors. You will notice that there are some torn up boxes in some enclosures. That's, you know, cats.
Oh, so like you're saying panther, that's like the actual scientific name.
Yep, for all the roaring cats, the genus of them is Panthera. Any questions for Mr. Shaka? He likes to have alone time after his hellos.
He has big feet.
He does. You know, he's actually 470 pounds, which is a lot bigger than most male lions. They typically max out at 450. He's a very big dude. You're gonna want to mind your distance from that cage. There's nothing in there, but that was where our female lion used to live. She is not with us anymore. She was older than Shaka and had some health issues, which happens, unfortunately.
He's lonely.
He is.
Another female?
We are getting another female. He won't ever have a mate, though. Yeah. Shaka is pretty temperamental. He doesn't like us. He doesn't really like much of anything. We had the female. We hoped that they would breed together. They wanted to kill each other. We had the world's only antisocial lions. But we are hopefully getting a 4-month-old female lion cub in about a month or 2. Hopefully they'll like each other. We're not really sure. She will grow up with him, so it's a better chance. Shaka and our other female, Zulu, were introduced when they were both adults, which means that they didn't grow up together. And the way that prides work is typically males take over the females, whereas Shaka had his pride and the female was introduced, and it just didn't go so well.
So is he the only male lion you have?
He is. Yep.
Are you going to be getting any more?
Possibly. We hope so, but yeah, it would be cool. We just don't know until it really happens.
Where did he come from?
So just kidding me.
Sorry, I actually have no idea where he's from. He is from either another AZA facility, sister facility, or a reputable breeder, though. I think that we are trying to get our lions from Winston, maybe? Because they have a good pride, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, don't worry about
You
it.
gotta get her stung.
I get stung about 6 times a day. My hands are pretty much like bulletproof now. I appreciate it, though.
He kind of sat on a claw, it's just like,
Well, yeah, he's kind of gross. I love you, Shaka, but... Are you ready to meet some more cats? Awesome. We are going to head around the corner here. And here is an African caracal. These guys are also known as desert lynxes. That's because they blend in the desert very well, but also those black tufts on his ears do look similar to a lynx's. He does have 3 legs. And it is awesome. He's actually, I know a lot of people say, oh, poor baby. You'll notice he's not slowing down at all. He is so tough as nails. We will talk about why he is an amputee in just a few moments. I have some general information about caracals for you. Okay, fine. Like further. That was a bad throw. Twister. He's a good boy. So those black tufts on his ears have a similar function as lynxes. Means that he can hear very well. It helps to direct sound into his ears is what people think. But he's not related to lynxes at all. His actually closest relative is going to be a big cat. The cougar's second closest relative is a smaller cat, the African serval. Evolution diverged them about, a few million years ago probably. I think 1,000 years ago probably. So, very long process. Mister. Thank you. So, I asked for that hello. He knows his routine. Caracals do use vocalizations, hisses, a lot. So his ears went back as he opened his jaw. They weren't flat back against his head. He wasn't being aggressive. I asked for it. Can I have another hello? Thank you. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I've got bad aim, Twister. You know that.
especially after a fence.
Yeah, the fence does not make it easy. So Twister has 3 legs because he had cancer. Now, cancer is not uncommon with cats or in people. We all have those cells in us. But he had a cancer cell that ruptured, and that caused a lot of problems for him. He had a tumor in his back knee, and it caused some problems. He was in pain, he was limping, he was becoming aggressive. We took him to the vet. They recommended for quality of life, we just go ahead and amputate. We actually saved his life by doing that. He went up to the vet about 3 months ago because he was very danger prone and got a blade of grass stuck in his eye. They tested him while he was up there, and he's still cancer-free. He never needed chemo, anything like that, so we saved his life. And about 2 hours after anesthesia was up, he was walking around just like this, like he'd never had a 4th leg. The cats have the ability to adapt to pretty much anything, come back from the brink of death time and time again. That's where that saying, cats have 9 lives, comes from. He has slowed down a little bit. He has a very powerful back leg, that can propel him about 2 to 3 feet in the air, which is pretty good considering. But caracals are famous for their leaping ability. They can typically jump about 11 feet up in the air. There was a record leap of 13 feet 7 inches, and that cat also took down 11 ground birds with that same jump. So these guys are very impressive. I would like to see a video of that, because that sounds pretty intense.
At the same time?
Yep, at the same time in that one jump.
Flock of them?
Yep. So, hi guys, welcome. So, caracals have an interesting hunting technique. They will flush out a group of ground birds and jump up and catch them. They don't typically do that, but Indian and Persian royalty in ancient times did try to domesticate these cats. Didn't go so well, but they did use them for sporting like we do with horses. So, that's how they do that. If your cat won, you were sometimes called a knight or a royalty. This is actually a caracal, but close. You do have servals here too. Twist. Any questions for Mr. Twist? You're on a mission. I don't know why. All right, we are going to these benches. Do keep your distance from that enclosure.
Yes. Good boy. I can get a job here.
He's just saying hello. I think Spunky is the sweet one. So how I tell them apart is, yeah, hi boys. So Bogey is this one. He's got the black Alice Cooper eyeliner, whereas Spunky has much lighter eyeliner. Yeah, he's got a lot of eyeliner. The boys are very sweet to each other. They don't fight over food ever. They wait their turn, better than most families at the dinner table. They will wait their turn. Bogey knows I'll take care of him. Not get my tongs today, though. Yeah, Spunk is the sweet one. Sort of. So these are our male jaguars. Some of you have heard me talk about some rules in general about cats. And you're going to find that, as with every rule, there are exceptions. So these guys are exceptions to a lot of our rules. First of all, they are brothers. They're from the same litter. They're both 12 years old. They have never spent more than a day apart. And that one day they spent apart was Bogey was sick, and he spent the day in his den area. And Spunky, very pitiful thing that he was, moaned at his brother's door all day long. They're best friends. Weird, because typically male jaguars and all males in general start to fight between 2 to 3 years of age. They hate each other. They will fight to the death. They usually get separated at that point. These guys have never fought over food, anything. I'm sure they're bowling ball even too. It's kind of hard to find toys for jaguars. Bowling ball, easy for everybody. Not only are they brothers from the same litter, but they are also mother-raised. There are only 2 mother-raised animals on site. They were gifted to us from the National Zoo at age 3. Their mother was even mother-raised, which means that they are very much deadly predators. These guys are the only 2 that worry me, because when I walk up, I am food, carrying food, as opposed to, hey look, my keeper's here with some more cool people. These guys are scary. I do not like them. It's a much different look. Have you noticed that they pace and watch all of us like, ooh, should we eat today? Yay! Scary. A lot of people ask me, how do you tell the difference between jaguars, leopards, and cheetahs? First of all, if you see one in the wild, what continent are you standing on? Yes, these guys are found in America, mostly South and Central America. They used to be found here, 300-pound jaguars, in fact, once roamed where we stood. No longer though, lots of poaching occurred. These guys have the most trafficked pelt on the fur trade to this day. They only occupy about 13 of their previous 27 countries. Also, they have spots inside of their rosettes, which is something unique to jaguars. Cheetahs are found in sub-Saharan Africa. They're very tall, they come up to about your waist, and they have only spots. And then they're leopards. Leopards are a sleeker body shape, longer tail than these guys. They're found in Africa, Asia, Russia, and they have spots and rosettes, but separately of each other. These guys are called the pit bulls of the cat world. They have very impressive hunting techniques, and mostly they're called the silent killer. The reason for that is because they have a hunting technique much different than other cats. Most cats go for the throat to suffocate and or dislocate the spinal column. These guys don't mess around. They go straight for the head, crushing it with one blow. Yeah. That's a very sweet noise, but yes, you are deadly. So, these guys have been reported taking down 1,200-pound mules. There was one jaguar that did that, and he proceeded to drag his prey across the river and then another mile before he bothered to stop for lunch. These guys are very powerful. They are built for power. They can open their jaws at 120 degrees. They have 2,000 pounds pressure per square inch in those jaws, which is more than great white sharks. It's more than chihuahuas. It's also more than hyenas. Only 2 animals that have more bite force than these guys is oh gosh, Nile crocodiles and snapping turtles. 2,000 pounds per square inch.
And how much do these guys weigh?
These guys probably weigh about 160. So they want you to think that.
They must be really dense because, you know,
they are very.
They look bigger than that, but
they are extremely powerful.
Definitely muscle.
Yep. So female lions typically max out at 350 pounds, and it takes 6 female lions to take down that 1,200-pound prey item. So these guys, pound for pound, are some of the most impressive cats on the planet. They can take down 20-foot anacondas, alligators, snapping turtles. They can crunch through the shell, get at the meat in there. Not a lot is off limits to these guys. So, any questions for our brothers?
Does people come in here and train them and send them to?
No, these guys are totally hands off. A lot of our cats have been hand raised and somebody can go in with them. Not me, because I'm only a keeper, I'm not a handler. But these guys are always hands off. Have any of you noticed that there is cattle fencing along the top? That's so I can sleep peacefully at night since I live on site. These guys cannot get out, but it makes me feel good at night. Oh, these guys are always hands off, and our cats are typically hands off regardless. We have a guillotine door system that's on a pulley, so we can always be hands off, transferring them from one area to another so we can clean, feed, do things like that without having to touch any of our animals. These guys, no. I have never even had the passing fancy. Every once in a while I'll stand a tiger and be like, oh, a belly scritch would be nice, and then I'm like, wait, I like my fingers. These guys have never even had the thought. I am wary of these two. They look at me like I'm food.
Why does everybody think that they're black?
I mean, these guys can be born black. They can have the melanistic coat, but that's just a common misconception. Most commonly Asian leopards are born black. Leopards have more of that melanistic coat in their genes typically. These guys are not often born black though.
You said earlier that the black one's like a big freckle.
Yep, that's basically what it is. They've got a lot of melanin in their skin. Any other questions for our boys? Alright, we are going to head this way. Remember to give them their space, especially as you turn the corner. They will be there waiting for you. Not only is this a food item, but mostly what these cats think of it as is that a big enough treat for the energy I'm about to expend? It has to be equal. Samson thinks it is not equal right now, so we're going to let him think about that for a minute. He is a 480-pound Bengal tiger. He is our biggest cat on site currently. Scooby is quickly overtaking him. Scooby could be heavier than him these days. We don't weigh our tigers every day. We don't actually have a scale that goes over 500 pounds. We just kind of look at them and say, yeah, you're 480. Those are some big teeth, dude. Not brushing those anytime soon. So this guy also stands 9.5 feet tall. He is 13.5 feet long from tip of the tail to tip of the nose. He is our longest cat on site and will remain that way. Bengal tigers are not typically the largest cat on the planet. There are a few subspecies of tigers. The Bali, Sumatran, and Indochina are all extinct, never to be found on this planet again. There's a fourth, the South China tiger. There are only 100 of those guys left in the captivity. They will be extinct within our lifetime. And then the Bengal and the Siberian. Siberian tigers typically are going to be about 800 pounds. They are the largest cat on the planet. Combined, those two subspecies have about 3,500 in numbers, which we kind of talked about earlier in the tour, but that is a very slow number compared to what they should have been. The boys are just roughhousing. So tigers only occupy about 7% of their historical range, which means that is a very low number. They're showing off for you. Really, boys? You couldn't have done that while we were talking about you? Cute. Oh yeah, all of the cats do that. I'm not watching, Samson. There's a good boy.
He has big feet.
He does. That is your old treat. You could get the new one and it wouldn't be covered in wasps. He's like, I'm a man, I'll do it anyway. Oh, you are braver than I, Samson. Yeah. These guys are facing threats. They are considered endangered. Some of their subspecies are more critically endangered than others, but on a whole, they are considered endangered. Other reason for that is mostly China. So, China has slaughtered off most of its tigers and any other tigers it can manage to get its hands on. Samson, I wonder if he would...
Not for the fur.
I want you to drop it.
Yes. So, I'm not going to drop it. Then he's going to eat it and that will be useless.
Then you can drop it or you
Yep. There you go, Samson. You just think about it. to let him think about it. He will. He's thinking. He's